sulky, over bulky,
kinda hulky superhero.
Artificial and electrically transistored superhero. An exotically erotic and aquatic superhero. The Marvel superheroes have arrived. Superpowered from the forehead to the toes. Watch them change their very shape before your nose. See arcane striking superhero change to Viking superhero. A humdinging, real swinging, shield flinging superhero. They're the latest, they're the greatest, ultimate superheroes. The Marvel superheroes have arrived. Stereo.
Attention! Attention! And now we welcome to the grand trivia stage our great leader, our Grand Aquarium Emperor, the trivia master of this age, the past age, the upcoming age, and ages unknown. Please welcome Grand Trivia Master Fluval. Oh, that was a bad noise. Sorry, Master. Let's try again. Fluval. Oh, that's not so. We must find the noise to pay tribute to all 5 dimensions you hold in your control. Yes, the fake trumpet for Fluval.
Excelsior! Welcome, true believers. Grand Trivia Master Fluval here to once again bring you a scintillating show about Marvel's merry menagerie of masked avengers. And of course, with me as always is none other than the one, the only, the uncanny Intern Korg.
Hello everyone, I'm Intern Christy. I was wondering if you were gonna go with Kang the Conqueror.
Intern Kang the Intern.
Kang the Intern,
the one who remains.
I have conquered a couple of universes for various entertainment purposes.
Including our distinguished competition, if you know who I'm referring to.
No.
DC.
Oh, yes, we did do that.
Yes.
Hail the Grand Trivia Master!
Hail me!
Hail Fluval.
Hail me!
Hail Fluval.
Hail me, Fluval, channeling the power of Stan the Man Lee.
Yes.
For this merry Marvel trivia game.
Yes, and why, Stan? Tell us, why are we celebrating this Marvel trivia game this week?
Because for once, many of you are getting to enjoy the new hit film Ant-Man and the Wasp, yes. Quantumania in theaters all over your dimension. And, you know, WizWorld Live also had a little bit of Quantumania right before this show.
Yes, it's very, like, hot right now. We got, like, some notes from the network. They're like, you gotta hit the Quantumania thing. And I'm like, we kind of, like, our next step, Quantumania, all the time. But okay, network.
I'm a real trendsetter. Excelsior!
You are. Hail Fluval. Hail Fluval.
Hail me, beautiful city. Hail me.
Hail you indeed.
And while you're hailing me, there's something else you should do out there, true believers and newcomers alike.
What is that?
You should go to crowd.live and enter the code 3SQUQ.
3SQUQ.
So that you can play our wonderful game of trivia.
It sounds like we're calling them Qs.
Like the Star Trek character. Well, you know, Star Trek comics were published by Marvel. So Star Trek did find its way into the mighty Marvel bullpen.
Marvel. I wonder how DC felt, you know? Like, after Marvel got Star Wars and...
Did you know Stan Lee, almost turned down Star Wars?
Really?
Yes.
That's wild. Why, Stan? Tell us.
Licensed comics didn't always do so hot. I mean, look at the 2001 A Space Odyssey comic that Jack the King Kirby did that had nothing to do with the movie except the monolith is in it.
And so you were like, wow, this is really not a lucrative thing for Marvel to do. But then you're like, you know what? I really like this George guy.
I was like, oh, these Star Wars, I see.
Star Wars.
Did you know Marvel has licensed my likeness, Stan Lee's license for theme parks?
Oh my god.
So you can see a Stan Lee cameo of your own the next time you're in Disney's California Adventure or any other Avengers campus all over the world. Or maybe he'll even cameo in Frontierland, Tomorrowland, Critter Country, and many other lands.
The land of Pandora.
Avatar, the world of Pandora. The world that was starting to be built before Disney knew they were going to buy Star Wars and didn't need to do an Avatar land.
Precisely.
Those silly people.
Those silly people. But welcome. Welcome, Lena. Welcome, Beautiful City. Welcome, Fluval.
Did you notice that as soon as Beautiful City entered the chat, I started naming lands?
Yeah, as soon.
Hello, Wizworld.
Welcome, Wizworld Live. Welcome. Hail Fluval. Hail Fluval. Welcome to Grand Trivia.
We've got some great people already playing our game of trivia, and you can join them, including Tatoes. That's right. Tatoes. There's Asbestos Lady, Fantastic Fool, The Commisher, Captain Scrub Daddy, and many others. So be sure to join our game of trivia. I'm going to remove some of the names from last week's great game show or game show trivia.
Yes.
As much as I do love watching Russian roulette again, where people just fall through the floor.
That is wonderful and something that should be revisited regularly.
But this week it's all about Marvel.
You know, but this week it's all about Marvel. As you would guess by Stan Lee here being channeled by Fluval.
And by it saying Marvel Trivia 4 Excelsior below the video.
Fluval.
Potatoes.
Thank you.
Boil them, mash them,
stick them in a stew.
Yes. Fluval, you cannot expect these third-dimensional beings to read. My god. They can barely process, like, a fraction of the information right in front of their eyes. They can barely see the seething hate and suffering that belies each and every one of their actions.
Well, I can see the new guest.
I'm not angry about it.
I can see Ryan's poker face and a post-credit scene.
Yes, Potatoes Molasses, thank you for representing here a truth about matter consumption.
Fair enough, fool aloof.
Food poisoning, thank you for the suffering. You should not be consuming matter, you should be consuming suffering.
Consume the suffering, true believers.
And if you're on late-stage capitalism Earth, who will survive? Are we still going with you can consume your way out of this? Is that what they're still doing? Fluval? Or did
yes,
we
they're
move
still
on
taking
to...
it out of the George W. Bush playbook.
Ooh. Oh yeah, the Henry Ford. Yes, the text is in two-dimensional. You see how difficult it is for them without the incredible suffering engine, which has been placed in my heart, Tony Stark style.
Well, then why don't we get the suffering going by moving on to question number 1 in our incredible game of trivia. But first, the 10-second countdown, because anticipation is a key part of the suffering.
Yes.
That's right, Stan Lee knows Hellraiser. Excelsior! Anyway, here's your first question. The Avengers made their debut in 1963's Avengers #1.
Ooh.
Which of these merry Marvel heroes isn't one of the original Avengers? Ant-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, or Thor? 3 of these were Avengers from the get-go. One of them did not become an Avenger until issue #4.
Ooh, okay.
It's a bit of a tricky one.
It is one. So, like, when we've started out, this person... Oh, I have a guess. I
bet you do.
I have a guess. And I think that, and this is based on the whole Teen Titans of it all.
Yes.
Where the alien outsider brings the team together.
I mean, an alien outsider does bring the team together in the original Avengers, but it's the villainous Loki.
Also, I got this wrong and I know it! Thank you for your suffering, plausible deniability.
Yes, your suffering is key. We couldn't do this without your suffering. I always know I got it wrong as soon as I answer. Well, let's see what everyone picked. One of you said Ant-Man. One of you said Captain America. 5 of you said the invincible Iron Man.
Okay.
2 of you said Thor.
I think it's Thor.
You think it's the mighty Thor, son of Asgard.
I want to know who said Ant-Man and who said Captain America.
Yeah, sound off in the chat.
So that we can revel in your incorrectness.
If you're honest about what you picked, you get a Fluval no prize.
And we consume that sweet, sweet suffering.
Yes.
I always know I get it wrong.
To me, my Marvel zombies.
That is the Radio Free Multiverse promise.
The Argyle said Captain America. Potatoes Molasses said Ant-Man.
Okay.
Plausible Deniability thinks it's Captain America.
Okay.
Daman92 said Iron Man. Welcome, Daman92.
This is interesting. So you think perhaps heroes came together and then Iron Man was like, I'm a wealthy benefactor. Is that the story we're going with? That's interesting.
Before we get the answer. Did you know that I, Stan Lee, created Iron Man to be completely unlikable on purpose?
What?
Yes. I knew that my readers were more of a hippie sort. So now here's the actual quote. I think I gave myself a dare. It was the height of the Cold War. The readers, the young readers, if there was one thing they hated, it was war. It was the military. So I got a hero who represented that to the 100th degree. He was a weapons manufacturer. He was providing weapons for the army. He was rich. He was an industrialist. I thought it would be fun to take the kind of character that nobody would like. None of our readers would like, and then shove him down their throats and make them like him, and he became very popular. And he did! Not only because of the captivating charisma of Robert Downey Jr., but also because, I mean, it's Iron Man.
It's Iron Man.
But the correct answer to this question was Captain America!
Oh my god! Wait, who said Captain America? So you plausible deniability, you realized the right answer.
You would have gotten it right if you had said what you realized it was.
Who said Argyle?
The Argyle was correct. You see, Captain America was still frozen in the ice.
Counterculture's just culture.
When the first issue happened, Cap was still frozen in the ice from when he fell off the rocket trying to save Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier.
I see.
So he wouldn't join the team until number 4.
Why did the team get together?
To fight Loki, because Loki was a threat greater than any individual superhero.
Okay.
Even a Marvel superhero could overcome. And the original lineup was Ant-Man, Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, and the Wasp.
LG understood the reference.
You understood the reference. Yes, the Wasp was a member. The Wasp is sick as fuck. The tricky Twitch delay makes it seem like I cribbed that from plausible deniability, but I knew it because I remember.
Stan Fluval knows all.
I also just remember when I created the Avengers.
Yeah, sometimes, depending on the thickness of the dimensional veil, there's
Things
a little
from the
bit of a
void.
loading.
I knew going into yet another Marvel trivia was gonna get tricky. This one seemed pretty straightforward, and still I'm wrong. Gonna be a long night. Boy,
Why
is it!
did you all think that it was
Yes.
Iron
Unlike
Man?
the Minions, he was frozen in Nazi ice when the Avengers formed. The Minions were kept away from the Nazis in a cave.
Could be. Or you could keep being the only one to get every question right. Can you imagine the suffering?
The Commisher in first place. Fuck Castle in first place. Captain Scrub Daddy in second. Fantastic Fool living up to the name in third. Asbestos Lady in fourth. Potatoes in fifth. Ryan's Poker Face in sixth. A post-credit scene in seventh. Ishdoc.
Ishdoc.
Like Modoc, the
Yes.
mobile organism designed only for killing. And DC's Nuts in ninth, and Blog Thorvin bringing up the rear in 10th. Bringing up the Asgard in 10th place, I should say. Ha ha ha. P-Localypse gotta say, I don't know enough Minion lore. Well, listen to Not a Hate Watch with Missy and Alice, where they go deep into the Minion lore.
On the what? Girls on Fire
On the
feed.
Girls on Fire, the podcasts of Missy and Alice feed.
Beautiful.
But speaking of sequential storytelling like podcasts,
yes.
comic books also are that.
Oh.
And comic books are unsurprisingly the subject of our next question.
Oh my God. Stan.
Question 2, true or false? Hell Cow is a Marvel character who's a cow from hell. Is that true or is that false? This cow wants you to deal with it regardless of if you're right.
So, Fluval Stan.
Yes.
When thinking of hell, I'm forced only to think about a movie from, I don't know when it came out, The Palest Blue Eye. That's right. Have you ever wanted to see the actor
Things
who
from the
played
Void
Dudley
almost used Hell Cow as their name today.
That's amazing.
Yes, but see the pale blue eye where Dudley Dursley stumbles his way through being Edgar Allan Poe while the Batman solves a crime.
The Manic Pixie Dream Poe.
I should say, excuse me, it's not the Batman, it's Gore the God Butcher.
Yes.
Because that was his Marvel role.
Yes, you are correct.
It's Gore the God Butcher solving crimes.
And he, you know, there's some animal sacrifice within that and some hell that just isn't explained.
No.
Oh, I'm so angry about that movie.
You sure are. And also, welcome to the game, Iron Demand.
Welcome. So basically, if you took Crimson Peak, which is about like creepy devil siblings that are doing devil things to live forever, there's The Illusionist, which is spooky magic story, or The Prestige, sorry. That's Christian Bale's spooky magic story with a big twist at the end, right? That retells the whole story.
Yes.
And then there's like 500 Days of Summer.
It does have that vibe.
And those are all smashed together and presented to you.
Also, when you said demonic siblings, I thought of Mephisto, the devil, and so I just sort of went, you think there's a Mephisto? And there is! It's his daughter.
Oh my.
Also known as Jezebel.
Okay.
And we don't know if her mom's a demon or a lady.
Iron Demand just ranking the MCU on the stream. And I was getting with your hot takes.
Oh, wow. Excelsior.
Well, then we need to know some of these. Dudley Dursley outacted the Batman in quite a few. The southern accent was a lot, but it was the most consistent accent throughout the movie.
Yes, or a lady demon, that's true. I meant a human lady when I said lady, but you're right.
Yes.
We don't know if it's a demon lady or a human lady.
Ooh, Eternals is actually good.
Now that's a spicy take.
That's a spicy take. I've heard similar things.
Let's take a look at the planet as hot as that take. We're not
Wow, are you like edging us on exploding planets tonight?
Yes. Like I said, Stan Lee knows about Hellraiser. Excelsior.
Yeah, Phillips liked Eternals.
All of you said this was true, by the way.
Nothing from Phase 1 is better than Like a Bee, but what about Iron Man?
All of you said Hell Cow is a Marvel character who's a cow from hell. But that's false. Hell Cow is a...
what?
Hell Cow is a Marvel character who was an ordinary cow turned into a vampire by Count Dracula. So she's a vampire cow, not a demon cow.
Oh, Trixie Fluval.
Before she became a cow, a vampire, she was always a cow. Before she became a vampire, Bessie was a domestic cow living on a Swiss farm. And Bessie debuted in Giant Size Man-Thing number 5 in 1975. Before becoming a vampire, Bessie could produce more milk than the average cow. But after being turned, she gained all the powers of Dracula, including immortality, super bovine strength, and the ability to suck blood. She can also turn into a half cow, half bat form.
Wow. And they're not touching that.
Well,
there were vampire cows in the movie The Little Vampire. Who remembers this movie? That's how they get out of a scrape.
I'll tell you this. Hell Cow is in Marvel Snap.
Yes.
So the idea that we're about to see Hell Cow is not unreasonable because they put her in the collectible Marvel card game Marvel Snap. There's my theory. The truth is out there. Excelsior.
Littlest vampire rules. Okay, wait, let's look at some of these takes. Okay. So nothing from phase 1 is more than a B. I would posit, is Iron Man as good as I remember?
Iron Man 1.
Yes.
With Jeff Bridges.
Yes.
As the Ironmonger.
Yes. We have a lot of people liked the Eternals.
Yes, which is not phase 1,
Iron Man is boring. That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
What
Eternals
do you think
exists.
How
dare you? No, Fluval is.
What do you all think about the Edward Norton Hulk?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Vampire milk cow thing, yes. Bat Cow also exists.
Must exist in those distinguished competitions.
Had it on DVD and it was boring.
What did you? I mean, I have heard. It's a controversy. I of course love all of these movies because I'm in all of them.
Of course, Stan.
But I know some would say that Captain America: The First Avenger is the best of the Phase 1 because he punches Hitler a lot.
Just as good as Iron Man and Thor.
Oh. Okay.
Thor 1 was a disaster.
Blogtoven only likes the Ang Lee Hulk, which is before the MCU.
Okay.
You think we're gonna see Eric Bana in Secret Wars?
Yeah.
You think they go back that far, or do they just get Edward Norton again?
They're just gonna get Edward Norton.
Or will they get...
If they could, they're just... You know?
You think they'll get Lou Ferrigno to be the Hulk again? Just get the TV Hulk, paint him green?
I mean, if they're gonna do Crocodile Loki. Captain America 1 was pretty mediocre. I am not a fan of montages to yada yada through action.
I like montages where they punch Hitler, though.
That it was wonderful.
Ferrigno or bust.
That's the thing.
Yes, it's all the thing. It's the Merry Marvel Multiverse.
The Merry Marvel Multiverse. I just love that.
We did it first, by the way.
We did it first. I love being on the pulse, you know?
Oh, the Drake Bell Spider-Man. Ooh, will Spider-Man turn off the dark in Secret Wars?
Oh.
Will we get Neil Patrick Harris as Spider-Man from Spider-Man, that brief CGI animated series on MTV? All the hierarchical organizations, including S.H.I.E.L.D., are bad.
Yo.
Yes, I believe he is.
Yes.
So they probably won't cast him.
He dates. He's a creep. He's a fucking creep.
So he's
a fucking creep with young ass fans.
He lives up to the Drake name.
Creepity creep creep creep. And now he's like what? Pretending to be super Christian?
I don't know.
He's like doing something with his wife.
Something children. Well, then he hopefully will not be in the Marvel one, but hopefully it'll just be Neil Patrick Harris.
Gambit one.
Oh, they gotta do Gambit. They gotta do Channing Tatum Gambit again. Why? It is weird that they haven't, that they're like,
Channing is so wonderful.
Who foresaw that, let's see, which character is it the most ridiculous with? It's wild, some of the characters that are getting videos before We're getting movies before the new X-Men in the MCU.
That is beautiful. Again.
Yes.
I don't know what again, but yes.
No, the Channing Tatum gambit again, because it was supposed to happen.
Yes.
And then it didn't happen.
It's stuck in development hell.
But see, it's not happening now. He's pretty much confirmed it.
Shining.
Anywho, none of you gained points on that question, so our standings look pretty much the same. So why don't we move on to question number 3 so we can get that suffering rolling again? That's right, we're 30 minutes in and on our third question. What's the name of the version of Kang the Conqueror who lives in Spider-Ham's universe?
Ooh.
Kangaroo the Conqueror, Kang the Kingfisher, Kang Kong, or Orangutan the Conqueror?
Orangutan.
Three of these are not correct. One of these is the version of Kang the Conqueror who lives in Spider-Ham's Animals parody universe.
One day, beautiful city, just suffer.
It'll happen probably in Secret Wars.
Suffer in anticipation. The one that I want to be real is Orangutan the Conqueror.
Well, we'll see if it's real after the clock runs out.
People couldn't handle chunkier leading mutant after he gained a tiny bit of daddy weight, was my theory. Personally would have loved a fluffy aging card slinger.
It could be that. I always thought it was just because X-Men Origins Wolverine did so bad that they're like, no more spin-offs.
Yeah. That one was... It was
for Deadpool.
bullying. It bullied comic book fans.
I heard Logan was great.
Yeah, I've also heard Logan is great.
But let's take a look at what you all picked on this terrifying trivia question. 5 said Kangaroo the Conqueror, 3 said Kang the Kingfisher, 1 said Kang Kong.
Who voted with me?
Who voted Orangutan the Conqueror?
I want to know. Hubie Halloween, though.
I mean, what if Hubie shows up in Secret Wars?
It is hot. Very
What if
happy.
What if Hubie shows up at Secret Wars?
He could.
What if Hubie is secretly Halloween Man?
He's the calendar man of that universe.
Yes, he has the power to channel the spirit of Halloween. He's the He's the Pumpkin King.
Had to vote for Orangutan. Yes, that's good. That's just good writing.
Well, but is it real writing from the Mary Marvel bullpen?
I hope you suffer. I hope you suffer.
No, the correct answer is Kangaroo the Conqueror.
Kangaroo the Conqueror.
We made up Kang the Kingfisher. Kang Kong is real, but Kang Kong is the Kang from the Marvel Apes universe, where every character is an ape.
Oh, okay. But not Kingfisher Kong?
No, Kang the Kingfisher and Orangutan the Conqueror we made up.
Okay.
This is Kangaroo the Conqueror.
He looks like one of the anthropomorphic kangaroos from Tank Girl.
Yes.
Anyone remember Tank Girl? When's Tank Girl and those anthropomorphic kangaroos that she fucks gonna show? They're cool as shit. Ice-T is
Marvel
one of them.
is so weird. That's what these episodes of the show are really dedicated to reminding people of.
Fluval, can you bring up a picture of Tank Girl?
Tank Girl. I mean, and Tank Girl also based on a comic, but not a Marvel Comics magazine.
Incredible movie. You'd think
Ice-T played one of the kangaroos.
Yeah. And those kangaroos fuck.
They
love Tank Girl.
Clearly
it's
do.
Amazing. It's a really good movie. Who owns the IP?
Not Disney, surprisingly.
Isn't it Marvel?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not Marvel. It's not a Marvel Comics Group magazine.
What is it? Who is responsible for this?
It's British.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. They would be.
It's a British comic created by Alan Martin and Jamie Hewlett.
Yeah,
and it first
Naomi
appeared
Watts, she's
in
amazing.
the British comics magazine Deadline, and it was eventually with the Distinguished Competition as well.
To go.
Baby Jet Girl.
Yes.
Wait, okay, this is a slight Tank Girl spoiler.
Oh, okay.
They later revealed her birth name was Fonzie. For most of it, she's Rebecca Buck, and they reveal actually you were born Fonzie Rebecca Butler or Buckler.
Huh.
The Fonzie part is what gets me.
That was great. Vertigo is edgy DC, even though DC is already pretty edgy. DC is just...
You know what's great about Fonzie?
What?
Also part of the Disney family of intellectual property because Happy Days debuted on ABC.
Can we get a pic of Naomi as Tank Girl?
After we look at the leaderboard, well, she wasn't Tank Girl.
She wasn't?
She's in Tank Girl.
Oh. Can we get a picture of Tank Girl?
Yes, but first, the Commissioner holding on to first place. Fantastic Fool in second, Ryan's Pokerface in third, a post-credit scene in fourth, Ishtok in fifth, Iron Daman in sixth, rounding out our people who have earned points so far. But yes, now, let's watch my Mind Palace to see the Watchers, Naomi Watts.
So glad you're suffering. Yeah, there she is in Tank Girl.
This is Jet Girl in Tank Girl.
It really doesn't show off the wildness of that film.
No, it doesn't. Here's another picture.
That's a little better.
It's a little better. I'm trying to find one of her and the kangaroos.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Kangaroo boyfriend.
Here we are.
Yes.
Boom!
That's the kangaroo she fucks.
Can you say that again?
That's the kangaroo she fucks. Thank you so much, Fluval.
Yeah, Lori Petty played the titular Tank Girl in the film.
Oh, cool. I thought Jet Girl would have wings. I mean...
It's not out of the realm of question. Oh, and there was some slander coming our way. From none other than Plausible Deniability. Taking a page out of the Stephen Preble slander playbook.
Fair.
Malcolm McDowell, one of the many stars of Vamps, is also in it.
True.
You know what? Yeah, I'm not going to make that dumb in-joke.
Insignificant, silly human designed only for kneeling. Ishtok. I love this. Oh my god. Thank you so much.
Speaking of incredible Marvel characters, let's go
magnificent.
To question number 4, which is about the Uncanny X-Men. Which of these is not one of the original 5 X-Men? Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Iceman, or Storm?
Ooh.
I know you know the answer to this one, Intent Comic Books.
I mean, turn Christy.
Sound off in the chat if you know the answer to this question. Seen here is part of the intro of the 90s X-Men cartoon, where they each got their own fancy logo and title card, including Gambit.
And Jubilee.
And Jean Grey. And X-Men, and Wolverine, and Rogue.
Worst click! Yes, suffer! More X-Men movies. When?
Intern Comics Code Authority.
Thank you so much, I'm Intern Christy. Gambit when?
Disastrous click from the Argyle, but great click for all of you.
Ish, Secret Star of episode 5 of The Last of Us.
Yes.
Oh my god, really?
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's incredible. The Secret Star of episode 5 of The Last of Us.
Oh my god, what does that mean?
Emmy winner Ish.
Were you in it?
Plausible Deniability saw Ish in The Last of Us.
Oh my god. Wow.
Great-ish appearance.
Great-ish appearance.
And you know, speaking of characters...
Of course, insignificant, silly human sign only for
Ish Doc.
Fluval. Thank you so much.
But speaking of characters making their appearance, let's see what you all picked. 2 of you said Cyclops, 5 of you said Marvel Girl. All of you knew, I'll give this away, Iceman is an original X-Men. 2 of you said Storm.
Interesting.
Let's see what's correct. It's Storm.
It's Storm. You were all wrong, of
They had
It's
girl.
blonde man,
Well,
dark-haired man,
Iceman.
chunky-ass man,
I think he was.
and girl.
I think he had
Those
red
are
hair.
the-
I think Hank McCoy had red hair too before he turned blue as the Beast.
Did you make me cry? I hope that you did cry, but because of this show, because we love that copyright
Yes.
suffering.
And if you want to help support the show and you don't want to cry, support us at patreon.com/Radio Free Multiverse, where you can support us with money instead of your tears. But we do have multiple tiers on the Patreon.
We do. It's a child's drawing of someone named Ish, so I'm going to say it's our Ish. Of course it is.
It's absolutely our ish.
It absolutely is.
But, much like Wolverine, Storm wouldn't join the uncanny X-Men who protect a world who fears and hates them until giant-size X-Men #1, where they would go to the island of Krakoa to rescue the original X-Men who have mysteriously vanished.
Yeah.
And so Professor Xavier, except for Cyclops, he's back.
Yeah.
But Professor Xavier recruits a new international team of X-Men to save the country club attendees known as the X-Men.
Precisely.
I mean, Warren Worthington III.
Warren Worthington, Worry.
Old Warren.
Warren!
But let's look at the leaderboard. That's what I
Warren.
thought of when that person mentioned Warren. I immediately thought of Angel.
I have a friend on Late Stage Capitalism Earth who will survive, who had a romantic tryst with a human named Warren. His name was Warren, and he bought a dog and then realized he couldn't take care of that dog and was gonna send the dog back.
Angel would never.
So she had to take the dog, and it's a very sweet dog. So that's what people named Warren do.
Angel would never, but Archangel would.
Oh no!
Warren from Buffy too.
That's something that I wouldn't think of being like as a risk of being a therapist, but it absolutely is.
Oh, it absolutely is.
No.
Oh no, you caused them suffering, which I'm okay with.
Yes, no, suffering
Oops,
is
all
delicious.
spoilers.
And because you shared it here, it is our intellectual property now. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Speaking of intellectual
Casey.
property,
Yes.
one of the characters in our next question is a real Marvel Comics character. Sorry.
Zooms into the
On the next one, yes, that is incredible that happened.
Yes.
The Zoom interview with Warren Beatty, Dick Tracy as Warren Beatty, Leonard Maltin, and Ben Mankiewicz.
Precisely.
But the next question, 3 of these characters, not Marvel characters. One of them is pick the one that's not a Marvel character. 3 of them are, one of them's not. That was me being tricksy ahead of the question. Which of these is not a real Marvel character? Almighty Dollar, Asbestos Lady, Comeback Kid, or Fluff?
Fluff.
3 of these are Marvel characters. One of them is not.
I hope the Fluff is. What would Fluff's power be? They're like so cute, you have to pet them.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, it would be, they're so cute you have to pet them.
Yep.
Or would it be something else?
They would like produce so much like fluff like and like stuffing that like it would fill up a room and then you'd be like, oh no!
Maltin and Mankiewicz look like they're being held hostage. But you're almost out of time to pick the fake character that we made up to insert amongst real Marvel Universe characters. I sense Asbestos Lady in this Chili's with us tonight. Because Asbestos Lady does have some points, I believe. But let's see what you all picked. 1 of you said Almighty Dollar, 4 of you said Asbestos Lady, 3 of you said Comeback Kid, 1 of you said Fluff. We made up Comeback Kid, the rest, including Fluff, are all real Marvel
Who voted
characters.
against Fluff? Who did not think that Fluff was real? And how dare you? Who's Fluff? Oh my god, who's Fluff?
We're gonna go through Fluff last.
Oh, okay,
First,
okay.
it's Almighty Dollar.
Okay.
AKA J. Pennington Pennypacker.
Okay.
A CPA who was an average CPA until he attended the Camp Run Amok Self-Esteem Camp. It was actually a front for a scientist who invented a device that could give anyone superpowers. And when the device was used on Pennypacker, he was given the ability to shoot pennies from his wrists. He used his new powers to defeat his captors along with his fellow campers.
Specifically?
Yes. Pennies.
Okay.
His meta ability gives him the ability to project 1-cent coins from his wrist as high impact projectiles. And he appeared in a single comic, NFL Super Pro number 10.
Wow.
In May 1992. That's right. Unsurprisingly, some of these are relatively deep cuts.
Just like this pencil case of Dick Tracy. Who knows what it's from, but in any case, they A-cabbed, or they didn't A-cab.
Victoria Murdoch was asbestos lady and was a villainess who hated the original Human Torch.
What the fuck?
With every intention of doing battle with the Torch, she designed for herself a costume made of asbestos, which essentially made her immune to fire.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, Asbestos Lady heard about several advancements in asbestos science.
Much better.
Developed by Fred Raymond and wished to have them for herself. To this end, she tried to force Fred into joining her growing gang, but the Human Torch had watched Raymond's home in case such an attack took place.
Oh.
After she was repelled by the Human Torch, who was a robot, this version.
Oh, okay.
The original Human Torch is an android who lights on fire when exposed to oxygen.
Oh, poor guy. Okay.
And after she was repelled by the Torch, the Asbestos Lady decided to bump off the Raymond family as revenge.
Oh my.
She arranged a train wreck that resulted in the death of all on board except for the youngest Raymond, Thomas, who was immune to fire.
Wait. Okay. He survived the plane, the
Train crash.
Independently of that, is he also unbreakable?
He's alive, damn it. No, he's Toro. He becomes the Human Torch's sidekick.
But he's unbreakable.
He is unbreakable. He was Bruce Willis the whole time. And you see, he's Toro, who also lights on fire.
Plastic. Tragic death scene in 30 years.
Yes, actually, canonically, yes. Victoria Murdoch died of idiopathic mesothelioma at age 45
God.
from asbestos exposure.
She should have been an evil architect.
Because it seems like between her creation and her death, they were like, oh wait, asbestos, it turns out, is bad news. I guess we have to address that and not have an asbestos character anymore.
Oops.
Anywho, here's Fluff.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, he's not fluffy.
No.
Wait, I'm so angry. Wait, okay, that's the amount of, that's his fluff. It's like tasteful, sexy.
No.
No?
He has the power to generate infinite belly button lint.
How does he use this power? Also, why does he need to be so hot? Wouldn't it be better for him to have like a deeper stomach, you know? Real navel gaze.
As he said, a lot of people have belly fuzz or lint. Only Fluff can generate bucket loads of the stuff at will.
So essentially
and various chemical composition.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
So it's really just that he can produce.
It was from a comedy book. He was from a comedy book and he dies immediately.
Deepest V you ever saw. If it's infinite, does it need to be deep? These are the questions that I have, Void. He's got the Fluff trail. Timothy Chalamet for Fluff.
Behold Stripe. I found her lurking in the drapery ring of a famous department store. She has powers over all things stripey. Oh. Don't forget contrails. And then there's Fluff. And the lady, and see, look, he can make it stink.
Oh, yeah, bring him back for a She-Hulk.
Yes, this is from, what year do you think this is from?
I'm gonna guess 2004?
Nope.
What?
2022. From 2022's The Excellent Number 3, which is a sequel to Ecstatics, which was from about 2003.
Okay.
So the art style is sort of what gives it away. The art style with Michael Doc Allred.
Oh, okay.
He dies the next issue.
Okay.
Fluff is not long for this world.
Fluff, not perhaps because it's a good fire starter. You can like set fire to the lint and it'll trail back like to his infinite belly button.
It might. And you know, speaking of impractical characters, we have a halftime show.
Oh, okay.
Where I, Stan the Man Lee, met with some other comic book greats, specifically Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane.
Explain our thinking on how we're coming across and why we're doing overkill the way it is.
You can think and draw at the same time?
Yeah, and especially if it's going to be overkill, his equipment's got to be overkill as well.
Oh, heck yeah.
Always remember he's tough, but he's not violent.
Okay, along those lines.
So yeah, this is that Stan created the character and then they drew him.
The biggest shoulder pads ever existed. It's like
I figured he would.
Okay, I'm gonna give him some big knee pads here.
You gotta have big armors and guns.
Armor and got some guns and stuff like that. He's gonna.
Well, he looks grim, doesn't he?
Kids, you know, I mean, the kids like the dark, moody stuff. I mean,
they seem to.
I mean,
But I have a question I've been wanting to ask you guys. How long does it take these people to get dressed? These kind of characters.
I
mean, there's something they have to get out quickly to save the world, but it takes them an hour and a half to get into all of this stuff if they work fast.
That's right. Getting into the costume is like going to the bathroom in comic book. You never show it, but you assume that Superman and Batman and Spider-Man actually do go and urinate every now and then, right?
You're right, but you never do show it, do you?
No.
But you do show, very often you show people getting dressed, especially women. I seem to recall that now.
Yeah, no. Okay.
You draw hands? Are you into hands?
Oh, yeah, I'm the best.
You do hands?
You do hands.
Why don't we give them here, wires coming out here, coming down.
They love that
the kids
stuff.
love wiring.
The wires that he'll trip over.
Why don't we
wires.
I want to go back again because I love what Stan says.
Does he have?
Yeah.
They love that stuff.
Yes.
The wires that he'll trip over when he's running.
The wires he'll trip over when he's running.
Does he have a double identity? Is he really a meek accountant in real life?
Who else could he be besides Overkill?
Well, I mean, when he takes off all these clothes, is he a 97-pound
Do you see
weakling?
him taking rough fist?
Oh yeah, let's argue with Stan Lee about how characters work.
That are facing you for the large kapui. So right here, they could be like missile launchers or whatever, but he's gonna have those right over here.
What makes you make those value judgments? Why only 3? He's got 4 knuckles. Because the reader's crazy. Why does he have more on that side than that side?
No.
For the sake of our unseen viewers, is this really the type of thought process that you guys go through when you create characters?
Except for we have more than 20 minutes.
This is probably longer than you usually do. Well, I think I've got to say seriously, which isn't easy for me to do, but I think it's very impressive that in a matter of 20 minutes you guys could come up with something like this. I mean, bad as it is, it's still impressive that you were able to do it this quickly.
Yeah, that's a cool logo.
Rob, didn't you promise that you would draw and we would do the talking? And when you grow up a little more, you know, we'll let you involve the grown-ups.
Well, when you were creating characters, Stan, what was the process back then? I mean, because Rob and I right now, we do our own writing and our own drawing. We don't collaborate with anybody anymore. So
that's the problem. I've been meaning to talk to you guys about that. Boy, he is one grim-looking guy. There's no way this man can move. He's got to have a power to defy gravity, I would say, just looking at him.
He's a tank. I mean, what do you think of him?
Now, the funniest thing would be if you say that these are jets and he's the fastest man alive. That and the way you have him, we've got to justify all of this paraphernalia somehow.
Okay.
I don't know that you're really doing my character right.
They did.
Bunch of beginners. I just want you to. We have a minute. I want to tighten those feet.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay. Give him an ankle bone here, an ankle bone here.
Tighten those feet.
I think it takes you longer to sign your name than draw a picture. You know?
It is. I'm gonna step out, okay?
Incidentally, you guys have ruined us. We've decided to give up comics and we're going into showbiz.
And they would go into showbiz with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, thanks to Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld.
Wow.
Where Stan just decided, and that's a supercut. Mind you, you know that there are so many more burns that Stan dropped on them that were cut for time. Excelsior!
Wow. People who I would not want to work for.
Yeah.
Unlike you, Fluval Stan.
Yes, unlike Fluval Stan.
Always just so supportive in your constant criticism.
They do own Angela, the angel, Angela, the angel, again from Spawn, so they could put her in the MCU.
Cowards.
Those cowards. I'm just glad that Stan was ahead of the time being like, Rob Liefeld, your feet. Tighten them up, please. Anyway, let's tighten up our leaderboard. Orion's Poker Face is in first, the Commisher in second, Ishtok in third, Fantastic Fool in fourth, and Asbestos Lady in fifth with 75 points.
Is the Stan Lee sound alert not working?
Try it again, true believers. It should be working.
Boil and mash them, stick them in a stew.
No, that's not Stan Lee. It's one about
potatoes.
Yeah, so that one works.
Boil them,
Okay,
mash
let's
them,
try
stick 'em in
the
a stew.
Stan the Man Lee one. It was working earlier. You know, it does seem to not be working even when I click.
Somebody said that in a blog. It has to be true.
You're gonna hear a few of them because the button was clicked multiple times.
Oh, okay. Well, I love
Somebody said that in a blog. It has to be true.
It's out of stock for plausible deniability. Saying Lena, tragic suffer because
Somebody
you are
said that in a
unable
blog. It has to be true.
to make this sound happen. You are unable, so suffer.
It looks like the system is having some errors.
Potatoes.
But you can
Boil
still
them, mash
summon
them,
those
stick 'em in a stew.
potatoes. Well, speaking of things that are rich in nutrition and good for you.
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Let's go to question number 6. True or false, there's an X-Man whose power is they can blow up once. Is that true or is that false? And by this I mean this character can blow up, but cannot return from blowing up.
We've entered the sound alert segment early tonight at 54 minutes in.
Yes.
But only
we're
6 questions.
At 54 minutes in, we're halfway through our game of trivia.
I seem to remember this character.
Well,
isn't that everyone?
That's not their power.
Do I not have that power?
It's not a power for you, it's circumstantial.
Oh, okay.
It's a power. Or
'Cause he
is
can
it
do
for
it
this character?
without-
They can blow them. It would be if they could blow themselves up.
Without any external force.
Yeah,
How
without
did they know?
explosions. I think they just search their feelings and know it to be true.
Plausible deniability could do it.
Blogtoven is so
It's gonna be a
tired.
long night.
It sure
Also have
is.
this power.
Yeah, they can choose. They can just go, I'm gonna blow up today.
I'm so tired.
And not metaphorically, like you get mad at a Burger King.
Griffin Newman hosted a panel about a novel Stan Lee wrote about people with powers.
Did that tie into Stan Lee's Stripperella, the animated series starring Pamela Anderson that aired on Spike TV, TV for Men?
Yeah.
The Dr. Pepper 10 of TV networks.
It's like the ocean, how it's not for humans.
Yes, or did they talk about Stan Lee's reality show?
Oh.
Who Wants to Be a Superhero?
Okay.
Oh, do you not know Who Wants to Be a Superhero?
Once, but then they come back fine, but only once.
No, they die.
No, they die?
They just are dead.
But, like, how do they know?
They just, like, intuitively feel it out.
They just, like, thought about it real hard, like a Legends Jedi.
I bet I could do it. Blogtoven, you're not ahead enough to win with that yet.
Reality.
You silly person. Let's see what everyone
But
picked.
you should suffer!
7 of you said true. 1 of you said false.
Who said false?
Who said false?
Who said false?
Anywho, it's true.
Ha.
Professor, yeah, it's gotta be Professor X. It's gotta be Professor X and the power of Cerebro.
He's like, kid,
you got, I don't know how to explain this to you, but you could blow up. Oh, so I'm like Explodey Boy.
Bootleg Martin falls on accident.
Did you know Explodey?
Suffer.
So this is the power of Bailey Hoskins, the main character of X-Men, worst X-Man ever, which was a whole series about being the worst X-Man ever.
It was Elijah that said false. We left the setting open for.
In addition to Charlene here's Fact Fractal, I have one too, which is that Bailey Hoskins, who can blow themselves up once and that's it.
Okay.
Shouldn't be confused with Explodey Boy, another mutant character who can make things explode rather than making himself explode.
Yeah, I'll talk about
this
that
is X-Man Nathaniel Summers, aka Cable.
This is a little known part of, you know, Talmudic tradition. There's trivia in that wine cup. And if you've ever been to a Seder, it's all about fucking trivia. This is what I contend.
Nate Gray is a fictional superhero appearing in the American comic books published by Marvel Comics. And look at him being all shirtless with his X tattoo.
Oh my.
He's like hot Cable, because he is Cable.
Oh.
But what if Cable
Not
has
blow up once?
They have psychic powers.
Okay.
But he didn't get infected by the techno-organic virus like Cable was, so he kept his vast telepathic and telekinetic powers, the ones Cable would have had if he hadn't been infected by the techno-organic virus in a dystopian future. X-Man is also from a dystopian future, but a different one.
Okay.
The Age of Apocalypse storyline, not the Days of Future Past storyline.
He needs 2 arms, though.
And his name was X-Man, and they never explained why.
Huh. Okay.
This was by Jeff Loeb, written by Jeff Loeb, and drawn by Steve Skrow.
Yes, it was.
And he returned in Dark X-Men.
Ooh.
Oh, here we go. Here's the best cover. Look at this one.
Love that.
X-Man. The Age of Apocalypse begins now. I think he was called X-Man because you know what sold in the 90s?
What?
The X-Men.
Yep.
And so what if we made it look like he's the origin of the X-Men, not Professor Charles Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters in Westchester, Mass. It's not in Mass.
It's not in Mass.
It's in New York. I was wondering who was going to call me out.
Trixie Fluval.
You know what else is Trixie on leaderboard? Well, Ryan's poker face is in first because, of course, they can see all the correct answers with their psychic powers. The Commissioner in second, Ishtok in third, Fantastic Fool in fourth, Asbestos Lady in fifth, DC's Nuts in sixth, a post-credit scene in seventh, Blog Thorvin in eighth, Iron Demand got points on that one in ninth, and Potatoes and Captain Scrub Daddy tied for last with 0 points. I think Captain Scrub Daddy might not be around anymore.
Or they're suffering really
because
bad.
They're suffering or fighting.
I am so excited.
I think it's because they're out here foiling the villainous normal dish sponge.
Potatoes also suffering. Love that. Piocalypse. R.I.P.
Potatoes.
Yes.
Also suffering. But why don't we keep the suffering going with question number 7? Which of these X-Men villains is not a mutant? 3 are mutants, 1's not. Pick the one that's not.
Ooh.
Apocalypse, Juggernaut, Magneto, or Toad. Seen here is Quicksilver, a different X-Men character.
Wow, that is a Trixie question, Fluval.
Do you not know the answer?
I think I do. Do you want me to guess?
No. Not until they all lock their answers in. Because you might think all X-Men villains are mutants, but some of them aren't.
But some of them aren't.
Yes, and...
Right, I think I know the answer.
Of course, Apocalypse was played by Oscar Isaac in X-Men Apocalypse. Juggernaut was played by a soccer player who said, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch." Yes.
Our friend Ralph Boner.
Ralph Boner.
But some of them aren't.
Magneto.
It's mutants.
Eric Lenscher. Magnus sometimes is his name.
It's the opposite
and
of that.
Toad.
No more mutants.
Did you know Toad's real name is Mortimer Toynbee?
Toynbee?
Yes.
Wow.
Mortimer Toynbee. Boner.
Boner.
3 of you said Apocalypse. 4 of you said the Juggernaut. None of you thought it was Magneto. Yes, that was. Wouldn't it be weird if it turned out Magneto wasn't a mutant?
Toad.
One of you said Toad. Who said Toad? Yes, he has been 3 Marvel characters.
Mortimer is your dad's name?
And plausible deniability. Are you also including Poe Dameron as a Marvel character? Since there are Poe Dameron series published by the Marvel Comics group.
That is true.
No, you're not. You're not. You're not. You're thinking Moon Knight, Spider-Man 2099, and Apocalypse.
Yo.
So he's been 4.
I think it's Apocalypse. I think Apocalypse is an alien. Or like something else ancient. I think the rest of these are all mutants, are they not?
The correct answer is the Juggernaut.
How'd the Juggernaut?
Kane Marco is Professor X's stepbrother, but he's not a mutant. He gets his powers from the gem of Sidorak the Destroyer. Yes, the Crimson Gem of Sidorak.
Oh.
Sidorak.
Oh. Okay. Oh,
he found a gem in a temple, which gives him his powers.
Okay.
Poe Dameron was in the Marvel Comics published series, Poe Dameron.
We have a question from the audience, though, Fluval.
You know what happens to when a toad gets struck by lightning? The same... Wait, let me go big. You know what happens when toads get struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else. More wonderful dialogue from Joss Whedon.
His Juggernaut. Should have gone with your gut. Maybe Toad is just a guy with a nickname. I don't know.
I mean, he's a mutant guy with a nickname.
The bands of Sitorak.
Surprisingly, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants gave Toad a mean nickname. No, Oscar played. Wait.
It doesn't count if
Oscar I see. You mean he didn't play him in a Marvel thing. Because he played him in the movies, not the comics. So, plausible deniability got an ad.
Oh!
So while you're watching the ad, I'll just bring up some stuff. Apocalypse is a mutant born in ancient Egypt.
Okay.
He's potentially the first mutant to ever exist.
It's hurting your games.
Magneto, famously a mutant. Famously a mutant.
Yes.
And Toad named Mortimer Toynbee. And yes, Toad was played by Ray Park, aka Darth Maul, which is why there's a scene where he holds a pole behind him like Darth Maul holds his lightsaber. And did you know Ke Kwan from Everything Everywhere All at Once did stunt choreography in that original Bryan Singer X-Men?
Famously.
Because he never disappeared from Hollywood, he just didn't get paid attention to.
Ooh. I forgot the externals were technically mutants.
Apocalypse was a mutant, I believe, before the externals were a thing.
So there's the externals and the eternals?
Yes, they don't like each other.
Now that makes perfect sense. Famously. We didn't know it. I hope you've all suffered greatly watching ads.
No, but the externals are mutants.
Are there internals?
The externals are 9 immortal mutants.
Okay, but are there internals?
I'm just gonna show you the externals and then we'll look it up on the Marvel Wiki.
Parasites.
It looks like my Mind Palace. It looks like the Marvel Wiki. So here are the externals.
I love it. Giant, blue, Thanos-esque, beautiful, fantastic. Is that Scarlet Witch?
It looks like Quicksilver back there.
Yeah.
No, or Magneto.
Your dogs had them. I was like, superheroes?
These are Gideon, Absalom, Apocalypse, Burke, Selene.
Ooh, yeah.
And possibly Cannonball? What? I guess. He's pretty much... Okay. That's weird.
How many times can he blow up?
A lot more than once. Pretty much infinitely.
See? Way better of an idea.
Because
are there internals?
He has thermochemical energy field propulsion.
These are store brand X-Men. These are like
they don't like
X-Men at home.
There are not internals.
No, we're not going out for X-Men.
They don't like the X-Men. They're villains. They fight the X-Men.
Yeah. That's the energy. Yes. Bakugo. I'm going to create the internals. See, Fluval, who are the internals?
There aren't internals. I showed you.
There's gotta be internals.
Well, they haven't arrived in these lowly third-dimensional beings' dimensions
killed
yet.
Darwin.
Yeah, that's Darwin's
really frustrating.
That's Darwin's whole deal. Is he evolves? It's almost like that's the joke of naming him Darwin.
It's almost like they just wanted
the
to
internals.
Be like,
there's Inside Out Boy, whose insides are on his outsides.
It's the same power from my guy from Hero.
There's Wormhole Man, whose butt is a wormhole to other dimensions.
Okay.
And of course, Stomach acid, the stomach acid kid who shoots stomach acids out as his powers from his wrists like Spider-Man.
Osmosis Jones.
And then Osmosis Jones, the secret leader of the Internals who controls them from inside Bill Murray. Bill Murray is the secret headquarters of the Internals. And that of course is part of the whole secret behind their powers and the conflict is they live inside a man who we have realized recently is a villain.
Yes!
They live inside the villainous Bill Murray and must escape him to save the world.
You've done it, Stan. You've done it.
That's the prestige. That's what we call
the prestige.
Pale blue eye.
Yes.
Let's go to the leaderboard. Kamishar in first, Ryan's Poker Face in second, Ishtok in third, some laughter coming in from Plausible Deniability, Fantastic Fool in fourth, which is appropriate, Asbestos Lady in fifth, a post-credit scene in sixth. But Iron Demand got that right, up 39 points. It's still...
I like that post-credit scene was further down, because it's like it came after.
I do like that. It's still many people's game as we go to question number 8. Jack the King Kirby is Marvel royalty. He did production design on which of these Saturday morning cartoons? Muppet Babies, Thundercats, Turbo Teen.
What happened to
Snorks.
Bill Murray?
Or does Armie Hammer eat Bill Murray and they accidentally get eaten too?
Yeah, yes. Precisely. Clap, clap, clap.
Clap, clap, clap. I think Iron Demand dipped and is just doing the no answer loop thing. He's been at 39 points each round and it always says, that makes a lot more sense, things from the void. I was wondering.
I think that he's suffering. I think that he's suffering. Time to talk about Rolf again. Who's Rolf?
Rolf. The Muppet. The piano-playing dog Muppet who Chris Gethard underestimates the importance of.
DC's nuts.
Yes, DC's nuts.
That's true.
That's true.
DC's nuts. It's true.
Well, let's see what you picked. 3 you said Muppet Baby, 4 you said Thundercats, only 1 of you thought it was Turbo Teen, 0 of you said Snorks.
Who thought it was Turbo Teen?
Who thought it was Turbo Teen? Sound off in the chat if you thought it was the Cronenbergian horror known as Turbo Teen.
Yes.
Be sure to get your answer in, or your explanation of your answer in, and then we'll reveal what the correct one was. What do you think it was while they're answering?
Never heard of Snorks. Potatoes gets Turbo Teen.
Potatoes.
Never heard of Snorks.
Was correct.
Not good enough.
They're all real, but the correct answer for this one is Turbo Teen. And for those of you who don't know, yeah, it is.
Wait, Potatoes got it right?
Yeah, Potatoes got it right.
The only one, suffer everyone else, suffer.
And here's Turbo Teen. So, of course, the bit of Turbo Teen is when he gets wet, he transforms.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
I don't know the source of that music, so I'm turning it down. Excelsior! See, look at that. And let's watch this in silence as she straddles him in the drive-in parking lot.
I like how there's all kinds of fluids.
Yes, you do need to relitigate it at BACon, a Sandwich Night 2023. I like that he glows, too.
Yes,
so this is, I think, the one that's
It
the
helps.
famous GIF.
Suffering gives you clarity.
Look at his
on the
long
main
torso.
stage.
Oh, look at that
Grand
junk
Trivia.
becoming the trunk.
Suffering only helps on Grand Trivia, though.
Yes.
We have that copyrighted.
Yeah, suffering will not help you at BACon.
It will make oh God, space.
Oh, this was production designed by Jack the King Kirby, the designer of the Fantastic Four.
I'm freaking out, man. That was a terrible butt. Reverse
Look, ice cream.
Transformers.
Ice cream counts as a liquid.
Oh.
Melted Neapolitan ice cream transforms him back into a teenager. Seen here is Turbo Teen on a boat.
Why? How did he get on the boat before he got?
Oh, I don't know, but he's about to transform again.
Now this is cartoons.
This is almost as good as the Thing Ring. Do ya thing.
Yeah.
Oh, here he goes. Will the Turbo Teen drown underwater, or will he remain a car that doesn't have to breathe?
I mean,
you'd think
looks
actually
like he's gonna drown.
You'd think being in the water would get him stuck in an endless loop.
Yeah, is it
cursed
wetness?
to forever transform. Oh. Rip Turbo Teen. Oh, why are you having a little tantrum? Oh no, he's getting angry. You wouldn't like him when he's angry.
Oh no,
look
he's
at his,
locked.
Oh no.
Oh no, he just dried off and he's transforming.
This is how it feels to be Turbo Teen forever.
Why?
We're not watching the whole thing. There's 23 minutes left of that.
Ooh, BA, Nooner. You should all suffer together.
You
that
should.
kiss was too slobbery. Relatable. Sometimes, don't you just feel like you're mostly a car, but with the head of a human?
I sure don't, but I do feel like we have the. I'm not a human at all. The Kumisha in first, Ryan's Poker Face in second, Ishtok in third.
Just human things.
None of them gained points though. Only a post-credit scene. Iron Man Demand didn't, and Potatoes gained points.
Potatoes.
So good job, Potatoes. Perhaps you can regain
temperature, not moisture.
That explains the ice cream. When he gets cold, when he's hot, he's a teen. When he's cold, he's a car.
It cools him down. Okay.
Yes, much like the McBLT, with him, you got to keep the hot and the cool.
So
Excelsior.
he can go into the disgusting Atlantic Ocean, and it would warm him up. Gross.
But in the Pacific, he'll turn into a car.
Just repulsive.
Heat makes him into a car. Cold makes him a boy.
Same.
Do you ever feel like a Turbo Teen, but becomes a trunk riding on the street wanting to start again?
Yep. Do you ever feel like a Turbo Teen, but becomes a trunk riding on the street
wanting to start again?
I clearly don't know that.
Because here comes question 9. It's a Firework by Katy Perry.
I know, but I know the first, 5.
I'm going to do a campaign where everyone is Turbo Teen. Which of these is not a real Mary Marvel musical album? Ghost Rider, Songs of Vengeance. Yes. Spider-Man, Rock Reflections of a Superhero. The Amazing Spider-Man from Beyond the Grave, a rock comic. Or the Marvel World of Icarus. 3 of these are real Marvel-themed albums. One of these we made up.
I like the idea that Ghost Rider Songs of Vengeance is actually just a Nick Cage project.
I like that it's a Nick Cage, Nick Cave crossover.
Ah! Wow, From Beyond the Grave, a rock comic.
Yes.
Marvel World of Icarus. So I actually think I know one of these is definitely real.
Why?
Because I'm pretty sure that I read it in high school.
Well, none of these are books.
None of these are books?
All of these would be actual, LPs, actual albums.
Never mind, because
themed around the Marvel menagerie of masked characters.
It was a Marvel comic book about Greek philosophers.
Marvel also made comics about musicians at a certain point, too, to try to, with the Marvel music imprint. Like they did a Billy Ray Cyrus comic about his achy breaky heart.
It wasn't Marvel.
Oh, well, I only make mine Marvel, so I'll never read that shitty comic about Greek philosophers.
Yeah, you got it.
That would be very fun, Lena. A TTRPG group on the
I
Discord.
will just suffer, never knowing.
Well, 5 of you thought it was The Amazing Spider-Man from Beyond the Grave, a rock comic. 1 of you thought it was Ghost Rider, Songs of Vengeance. 2 of you thought it was Spider-Man, Rock Reflections of a Superhero. Sound off in the chat with which answers you picked. Because inevitably, some of you are going to be wrong. All of you? Some of you?
Hopefully.
Hopefully they're all wrong, so we maximize the suffering.
I thought that the Marvel World of Icarus is perhaps not real.
Oh, the Argyle DM'd a one-shot that Stephen Premel. You heard of him? Played it, and Elon was the big bad.
Oh!
That sounds great. Fluval voted Ghost Rider.
Ooh, okay.
Things from the Void voted The Amazing Spider-Man from Beyond the Grave, a comic.
A comic.
Rock Reflections said Blogtoven. What's the correct answer?
What is that?
It's Ghost Rider Songs of Vengeance. We made it up, though a heavy metal album about Ghost Rider would be a natural fit.
Wow.
1975's Spider-Man, Rock Reflections of a Superhero, is a Spider-Man rock opera supposedly performed by other Marvel superheroes.
Wait, who did Songs of Vengeance?
We made it up.
Songs of Vengeance? Who got the answer?
Fluval.
Yes! Yes!
But Stan Lee, narrated the rock opera, and it was a musical journey through Peter Parker's life. 1972's Amazing Spider-Man From Beyond the Grave, a comic, is a series of Spider-Man audio vignettes broken up by musical interludes, and a big fact fractal for all you Deep Space 69 heads out there. Spidey's voice on it was provided by Rene Aubergenois, Odo himself.
Oh, okay.
That's right. They put a microphone into Odo's bucket for that album.
Amazing. I love it.
And then The Marvel World of Icarus is a 1972 licensed prog rock album by the band Icarus. And it features songs about iconic Marvel characters like Madame Mask, Silver Surfer, and another song called Things Thing and more.
Things Thing!
And it was officially licensed by the Marvel Comics group.
Incredible.
Let's go to the leaderboard. That's up. This is the penultimate question, by the way. The Commisher still in first. Ryan's Poker Face in second. Fantastic Fool in third. Ooh.
Ooh.
D&D RPG Marvel characters.
That would be fun.
Would be very fun. I made Spider-Man on Hero Forge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could produce Ghost Rider Songs of Vengeance.
Look, I'm all for Songs of Vengeance.
Intern Forrest also made a bunch of D&D characters during Quar, and a little before Quar when he was bored at work. But
it's a nice pastime.
It's a nice pastime, but now let's stop passing the time and go to our 10th and final Marvel question. But first, wager your points.
Wager your points.
This next, here's a hint for you. This next comic, this next question is all about the comics specifically. This ain't MCU. This is the original Marvel Universe created by me, Stan the Man Lee, and involving other people.
I mean, you know.
Like Jack the King Kirby, Steve Ditko, Rolf.
Rolf, okay. The
Muppet Dog. He played on those rock albums.
About to make a big
The
mistake.
Lockets is in.
All in.
In 1996 and 1997, Marvel and DC published amalgam comics blending the characters. Which of these is not an amalgam comic? Bat Thing, Legion of Mutants, Lobo the Duck, Magneto, and the Magnetic Men. 3 of these are real, super epic, incredible, sensational comics with us at Marvel and the distinguished competition. Do you know the answer?
I do not. I think I know the answer. I think I know the answer because Lobo the Duck would just be too wonderful, right?
You can do the Blogtoven special and just not answer.
Oh, yeah, you can. So that's cheating.
Which is cheating, and we don't mind it.
Always.
Blogtoven knows one of these is definitely real.
Yeah, I know. I know that one of them is real for sure.
Lobo the Duck.
Lobo the Duck is real?
Lobo the Duck is real. Well, let's see what you all picked. 2 of you said Bat Thing, 3 of you said the Legion of Mutants. 1 of you said Lobo the Duck, 2 of you said Magneto and the Magnetic Men. Should we see what the correct answer
Lobo,
is?
yes.
Okay. The correct answer is the Legion of Mutants, which we made up as a mashup of the Legion of Superheroes and the X-Men.
I only knew that Lobo was real. Are we going to see Lobo?
We're going to look at all 3 of the real characters. First,
blind guess.
The Bat Thing.
Yes, of course. The Thing and Batman.
No.
No.
It's Man Bat and Man. Sorry, yes, it's Man Bat and Man Thing.
Wonderful.
In the story
so it's
of
Man Bat again.
Yes, in the story of the Bat Thing, Dr. Kirk Salas used gene therapy to cure his own incurable disease, but it turned him into the Bat Thing. And I swear this is true.
Okay.
It's about the murder of a mobster named Fat Freddy.
You know, I love it. Where's Man Man?
I know Fat Freddy sounds like the names that a hipster New Yorker would make up of a mobster.
Release Man Man.
But there is literally a search party for Fat Freddy in the Bat Thing comic.
At House Drinking Beer, based out of LA, we need to release Man Man.
Man Man.
Brett Morris plays guitar for Man Man.
And here's Lobo the Duck, trapped in a world he never fragged. And it mashed up, of course, Lobo and Howard the Duck, and he wakes up in a post-apocalyptic New York, set long after the rest of the Amalgam comics.
I love it. Trapped in a world.
And then the Magneto and the Magnetic Men, which is an amalgam of the Metal Men and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Man Man.
There's also Dr. Strange Fate, who mashes up Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate, and Charles Xavier.
Okay.
Because his secret identity is Charles Xavier.
Okay.
We also have...
Yeah, George should talk.
While we made up the Legion of Mutants, the Amalgam comics did feature 2 X-Men related groups. One was the X-Patrol, who mashed up the X-Force, which was a popular X-Men spin-off at the time.
I want to say ACAB.
The Doom Patrol. And the second is JLX, which mashed up the mainline X-Men with DC's Justice League International, which featured incredible characters like Batman and Guy Gardner. The Justice League, not Amalgam. They were more interesting than that. Like Dark Claw.
Oh, okay.
Which matched up Wolverine and the Batman.
Yeah, of course.
And there was even a Dark Claw animated series adaptation drawn in Bruce Timm's Batman the Animated Series style.
Okay.
Dark Claw got 2 unrelated issues.
Wonderful.
Unlike Super Soldier, the Captain America and Superman mashup. But we don't need to keep talking about Amalgam. What we need to do is find out who stands apart from the rest of the players as our winner. It's the Commisher, who's LG. So the Argyle, we have your address already, so we can send you your prize. Yes. But there's one prize that everyone gets, and it's the Mary Marvel No Prize.
Yes!
But you'll also get a second prize. The whole planet was one big New York.
Yes, it was one big
And yes, the Argyle opened this episode saying that they were going to lose. And they ended up winning. Excelsior, what a twist. What another incredible twist from the Marvel Comics Extended Universe.
Yes! World.
The whole city was one big planet.
One big planet.
But thank you for joining us for this 4th edition of Marvel Trivia. Be sure to join us next week
for trivia.
For more trivia. For trivia with the surprise destination of Cocaine Bear.
Yes!
We're going to Cocaine Bear Earth next week on Radio Free Multiverse.
Thank you.
So be sure to join us then, because you will not want to miss it. And of course, we see you.
We can.
We have your coordinates.
What an honor.
Excelsior!
Here he comes, swimming closer than farther away.
And the little trainer, what the T-shirts, we can show you how to. Where will you be then? You'll belong, you'll belong, you'll belong, you'll belong to the Merry Marble Marching Society. March along, march along, march along to the song of the Merry Marble Marching Society. If you growl, if you groan, with the dour, sour outlook, if you howl, if you moan, you can lose your sour grub from keeping trim and in step with the vim and the pep of the Merry Marble Marching Society.
Be an early riser.
Try to be ambitious.
Speak a little wiser.
Try to be judicious.
Be a good advisor.
Never ever vicious.
And where will you be then?
You'll belong, you'll belong, you'll belong, you'll belong to the Merry Marble Marching Society.
Fluval, 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 Fluval.